Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
These three mental or conceptual ruffians are exploited not only by your own internal psychology, which prefers the sedentary, non-changing kind of setup over the difficulty and adversity of change. They're also exploited from forces outside of you, namely the sort of the marketing environment, commercial enterprise in the United States for sure. But they'll be exploited by others to essentially help you self-sabotage, such that you don't, become a credible threat to the situation or the status quo or what have you. So when we look at how this happens, more often than not, the best place to look is any advertisement you've ever seen, any commercial on television. Every one of those, pretty much without exception, is designed to exploit fear, uncertainty, or doubt. There are very few that are designed to ennoble or elevate you. They all have either the explicit, like, look better by doing this or feel better by doing that, which essentially says that you're in Gestalt, not those things, right? By saying, hey, feel better doing this, what it means is you should feel bad because you're not. And so when we look at the advertising world, we can find tons and tons and tons of examples of people talking about and manipulating those three ruffians such that, you again stay paralyzed or, give up your resources to effectively make those things go away. As a sort of a personal note, for me, one of the big applications of this, or one of the big realities that I have kind of discovered in my own life over the past couple of years, was that my anxieties, my fears, and uncertainties drove just a ton of my behavior on a regular basis. It led to a whole bunch of approval seeking and this sort of perpetual inquiry. So you kind of would take the knowledge you've gained from that to then again get more approval seeking. It was basically outsourcing a ton of what should have been sort of positive emotional regard for myself, and essentially turning it into something that I use to enslave myself to the will of other people. When we look at this, and again, your mileage may vary. So to be clear, hopefully your experience is not as pathological as mine was. But when you look at these things and you go, hey, how can I overcome these ruffians? How can I not let them drive my behavior so much? We talk quite a bit about this week in those, the role of noticing. And then again, what is the other thing that's kind of most important to understand in this entire quest is the objective of all of these ruffians is to keep you from moving. You let them win by standing still. There is a fundamental reality that you should find in every major religious text, if you look, and that is that the nature of the world is change. And if you are not changing, if you are using these things, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, to allow you to try and not change, you are effectively being sabotaged on the regular by these ruffians. And we want to overcome that process by first accepting that you don't have to change everything right now. You're not going to make any of these ruffians go away by making them stronger. Increasing fear is not going to improve your sort of situation. and it's not going to make action more likely. So to decrease fear, the best thing to do is to reduce the perceived risk. When we talk about what that looks like, or when you reflect on what that looks like, it may be, what is the single smallest step I can take right now to move the conversation forward, to stop being afraid, et cetera, and take that step or that action or that small single thing you can do. There are other ways to go about this. What is the one friend I can call on to help me feel less afraid about the situation? Or what is the single thing that if I knew it, I would be able to take action easily and resolve that uncertainty? Or what behavior am I avoiding by moving into this perpetual investigatory kind of doubt cycle? What is the one thing that I could do to solve this problem, or at least, lighten the load? Again, we're not looking for magic bullets here. We're looking for small, single behavioral changes we can take over time. None of this stuff formed instantly, and none of it will go away instantly. As we work through this stuff together, and as you explore this in your internal landscape, you'll find that that the best approach to solving a lot of these problems is very small, very subtle, and very sort of fault-tolerant changes, where if you miss it for a day, you're okay. If you miss it for 2 days, again, you're not using that to weaponize or beat yourself up. So as you move through this, as you understand that those 3 ruffians are, probably like most people, driving a lot more behavior than you'd like, that noticing process and then the kind of what small step can I take to help should be a great way to move the conversation forward.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.